take 5. Well, not really 5, it's more like 3 or 4. I lost count. No, I did not get a new phone. I've used this. Okay, I can't do that. I've done that so many times. I didn't get a new phone. The camera, it's not a screen protector. Watch my other video. Anyways, I want to talk about my networking idea. I gotta relax. Alright, I'm talking about my networking idea. My networking idea. I don't know if you can hear me. Last time, sound was a little low. And I got people walking around. Anyways, look where I am. And I actually got Wi-Fi here, which could be coming from there. Could be coming from there. Or it could be coming from over there. Which has apartment complex, yeah, you see it right there. There's some, but it feels, they're using business stuff, so it feels like maybe it's coming from there. I don't know. Anyways, my networking project, I decided to move it to Windows. I'm not gonna say port, I hate that word, but I moved it, and you can now access it on Windows. It's the server's running on Windows. It's all Windows. Why? Well, have you ever gone to a forum for Minecraft, Planet Minecraft, or MinecraftForum.net? They don't understand what you're talking about because they don't understand the command line, and when you show them, they're like, that can't work on my computer. That ain't Windows. What is this? That ain't my operating system. That looks crazy. When you show them Unity, they're like, yeah, how's your Mac OS 10 menu on the side? Why'd you move it, Why'd you dock in the wrong area, stuff like that. So anyways, Visual Basic, I'm using it because Visual Basic, and I don't like Visual Studios, I don't like Visual Basic, but I like that GUI, I like the GUI, the objects that go on the screen, not the command line, and you can easily change that in Visual Basic. And same network stuff, same protocol, same everything. It tends to be a little bit unreliable. I am using you can use WinSSHFS, or you can use DriveNet Drive. Now DriveNet Drive, I don't know if WinSSHFS also has this problem, but Windows can't read programs can't read files. I don't know if it's the size of the formatting of the file or what, but it has problem with reading videos and stuff. I don't know if you have CS problems, but text files you can read. So it might just be DriveNet Drive. I haven't tried it with WinSSHFS. Ooh, hard time saying that. Yeah, it took me two takes to just get that right. Anyways, love my shirt, by the way. It's high school stuff. Makes me look younger. Not really. Anyways, Python. I love Python. I love C++. I don't really care for Visual Basic or Visual Studios in general. I don't agree with Microsoft's policy. But by that I mean the versions, the features of the Visual Studios restricting people. I don't agree with that. That's not programming to me. That's more like developing, and you're following the rules of the company that provides you that stuff. I don't agree with that, guys. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Okay. Alright. What was I saying? Oh, Python. I do like Python, but the problem is I do not like typing. tk-enter, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these words right. tk-enter, Kivy, Kivy, I don't know. They're not integrated into the Python thing. Sure, you have Glade, but even then you gotta point it to Python. I don't know how to do that. Complicated. I don't know why they can't just put idle built into Glade. You'd have something compared to Visual. That's the one and only thing that makes Visual Basic superior to everyone else. Just for the GUI. And you can hate me for that, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who agree with me. Sure, there's a lot. I don't like the Microsoft stuff. I don't like the Windows stuff. But hey, you got it. And so I went to Windows because Visual Basic, it's easy. It's so easy. It's not real programming. Well, real program. I don't like that. Real. That's the thing now. Real phones, real programming, real computers. It goes on and on. Anyway. So I put on VBNet, VisualBasic.net. Not the Visual Basic script, but the Visual Studio's VisualBasic.net. .net, not basics. You probably know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so, and I'm gonna do something. I did something different. I'm talking about open sourcing this. Now, in the Microsoft world, open sourcing means two different things. It's loopy in the Microsoft world. In the Linux world, open source means it's most likely proprietary. If it's not Freedom Software, or let's say Libre Software, Libre, Libre Software, then it is not Freedom Software. And it is proprietary. Now, in Microsoft terms, people get confused by this. Open source does not mean proprietary free. Oftentimes it is proprietary. Another thing, when dealing with here we go again. I'm forgetting. Alright. Oh, and commercial software is not always proprietary. Most times it is. But they can also do open source software, / they can do Libre software, such as Canonical, Debian, Red Hat Novio. Those are proprietary, but they have their own distros of Linux. Now, Linux, you can modify it any way you want. It is open source. Or is it? Is that GPL? I don't think that's GPL. Yeah, it's GPL. Oh my goodness. Anyways, an example of an open source license that's proprietary is the MPL. That's the Mozilla Public License. That's the license that Firefox uses. So you can see the source code for Firefox, but it has restrictions more than GPL does. Typically, now GPL isn't the only software, it's the only license for software that's open source. I mean, not open source, Freedom Software, Libre Software. That's not the only software license. That's typically the main one that's used, but it's not the only one. But most people use the GPL. So I'm gonna probably open source my game. So you can play with it, learn from it. I could make you change the background colors. I could make you change the text box location. I could do that all within the program itself. But what are you learning from that? That's where I think is the difference between developing and programming. Programming, you build from scratch, you modify, you create, you do stuff with it. You do stuff with source. You can't copyright source code, guys. You cannot. I love you, Apple. But you cannot not copyright source code. You cannot. It's like freedom of speech. It's like the blood of software. You know, it's like trying to copyright a letter. You cannot copyright letters. You cannot copyright a word. You cannot copyright a combination of letters in a sentence, words in a sentence. You cannot. Now hardware, that's a totally different thing. But software, come on, guys. Anybody can take that idea and copy it. Anybody. Anybody. See, I grew up in that world where Visual Studios, it had to be closed source, open source. See, I got in that. Open source had to be closed source. You couldn't copy source code. All your stuff should be locked down. If you can't see source code by compiling, prevents you from looking at source code. You are forbid to look at source code. Well, when I got in Linux, I was like, wait, I was wrong all this time. Microsoft won't even believe that. Microsoft ain't right. Microsoft ain't right. They're just out there trying to make money. Listen, you want to be a developer and listen to Microsoft, or do you want to be programmers and make the next big thing? Hey, I'm not trying to be Steve Jobs here. I'm just saying, programmers are the ones who change and make and create things, not developers. You can use Visual Basic. You can use Visual Studios. Okay, I'm getting way off track. I'm probably open sourcing that. No license, just open. Just say it's open source. We're happy. Now, I don't know what Microsoft is going to think about that, but I'm going to say open source. Whatever license says to the program, I hand them over to them, not on me. I'm saying open source. Do whatever you want with it in conjunction with the license that Microsoft provides. It's not illegal because open source is not a legality. Open source is not a law thing. Like I said, open source can be proprietary. Proprietary owned by Microsoft, not by me. Makes sense. Alright. That's all I want to talk about. Network works on Windows. Awesome. Now I can post on Windows forums to 15, 16, 17, 20-year-olds and say, hey, get them interested in this. I mean, my game is Mega Man type game. Come up with a list of options. Pick your ones that you want. Send it to the server. The client reads it. Takes damage. Awesome. And you also get a little chat box in the lower left, lower right corner, and you can type to the other player. Currently, it's only 2 players, but you know, you can change that. If I release source code, you can see how all that works. It's super easy. I spent when I was growing up, I want to be at this chat messenger. I didn't understand WinSock. That's Windows Socket for TCP/IP for the Windows networking. I didn't get into that. That was too complicated for me. I started using emails and all that on Mac OS X, and that worked. But Windows, it was complicated. Even for something called .NET, it's really hard to get on the internet with it. I don't know. But I want to make a chat messenger like AOL and MSN, make a community off of that. And I thought that would be pretty cool. And it took me 7 years to make a network that I could actually build that on top of. Build that little thing on. I think it's pretty cool. So if anyone's interested in joining that, you need Hamachi, Win SSHFS, or you can use DriveNet Drive. All of them, all free. All of them are Windows. So talk to me. Send me a private message if you want to connect, and I'll send you what you need to know to connect. Okay, and I'll see you later. Bye. Insert catchphrase. End with. Bye.